Well, there's a lot to unpack there. Holy moly.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't bad.
All right. What did you make of was there anything in there that you really agreed with or didn't?
No, listen, like I said, that was all very reasoned. I think the one that I'm having trouble with is if Atlanta decides not to take a quarterback because of the reasons you outlined, right? You don't want to take a guy that everyone's going to be screaming for and you have no ability to get out from under Matt Ryan, right? I think that's logical. Having said that, they've got cap problems outside of Matt Ryan, right? Like their cap is destroyed the next couple of years. I think that the fastest way to get out of a cap situation is to get more picks. So I think that they might actually value dropping down a little bit, which means that I think that a quarterback, regardless of if it's Atlanta or not, is going to go 4, which then triggers Denver to go up to 6 to Miami. That's something that I could see happening. If a quarterback goes 4, or if one of the other quarterbacks, not Mac Jones, goes 3, then you're going to see, like I see some real fireworks, in particular Denver at 9, knowing that they're going to have to go up to try to get the Drew Lock replacement.
I think you and I agree on Mac Jones. We there's stuff we see a more Kirk Cousins, and that's a lot of picks to give up. But it is interesting. I thought about this as I read the Athletic article by Bruce Feldman. If you take Mac Jones, that means you're telling everybody in the building, we think he's ready to play now, which means Garoppolo could be expendable very quickly, either before the draft or after the draft, or by the trading deadline. And I could recoup some of my picks trading Garoppolo if he tears it up for 7 or 8 weeks. I am coming, though I have my reservations with Mac Jones, I do feel this morning San Francisco's taking him. I don't think Kyle Shanahan wants to develop another guy.
Yeah, I think, listen, I don't know what they're going to do, right? But he's not the best quarterback at 3 if Lance Fields and him are all available. He might be the most ready, okay, but he wouldn't be the best. And I think that you would have to wrap your arms around that. He's kind of a poor man's Joe Burrow. If you take Joe Burrow and you rank him in all the different categories, then Mac Jones would be like a step or 2 behind him in every single category, from athleticism to off the field to accuracy to arm strength, everything, right? But he is an unbelievable anticipatory thrower. He throws with great touch, and he operated a system that was not all that dissimilar to what Kyle Shanahan wants to run. Remember, Steve Sarkisian also has his roots. He cut his teeth in that West Coast system, a number of different formations, understanding how to get playmakers the ball from everywhere on the field. Remember how differently they use DeVonta Smith from snap to snap. This is the type of creativity that Kyle Shanahan has. So he's like you're talking about, and I'm backing this up. He sees Mac as a more plug and play player that can go out there and handle it right now. But I will not pound the table, but I'm just telling you, he's not the best prospect there if they take him.
No, I think we both agree. We all know at least one of these quarterbacks is not going to work. But nobody, I don't want to go out if Zach Wilson's parents are watching and say, that guy's a bust. But I got to tell you, you start looking around and I start reading all these anonymous quarterback scouts, rookie coach, wacky owner, bad O-line, team's history, face Belichick and McDermott twice a year each, and Brian Flores. I do think Zach Wilson has big ceiling, low floor. Is that fair?
That's probably fair. And to be honest, I don't know who I would take if Darnold was coming out of college right now. If you just evaluated them as prospects, which is the better prospect? Now we have a few years and it's like, well, was Darnold a failure or was that organization a failure? Like, let's be honest. Because as you're talking about, fit has so much to do with this. And these quarterbacks taken up there, they're going into very difficult situations to have success earlier in their career. Now, Wilson's a phenomenal player. I love his game. His ability to create velocity and accuracy off platform is uncanny. You just don't see a guy that can throw the football like this come along, every now and again. He's kind of a unicorn in that respect. But to your point, is he going to go in and immediately make the New York Jets better? I don't know. I mean, he raised his completion percentage 11% from 2019 to 2020. Why is that worrisome? One, it speaks to kind of a 1 year where you're really excelling. And two, in that year, in 2020, they didn't play a Power 5 opponent.
That's right.
So, again, fabulous player. I understand why he would be selected up there, but I think that low floor, high ceiling is an apt description.
Yeah, that's a really fascinating stat. He literally changed his accuracy in 1 year of college football. Shocker. It was the year BYU, because of the pandemic, didn't play anybody. And then all of a sudden he was great. First, I saw him the first 2 years.
And he did, by the way, I don't want to just say it. He did get healthy, right? Like he had some injuries that were going on, his hand, his shoulder, that affected him. Just to be fair, right? I mean.
Yeah. We're all about fairness here and Big J journalism. All right, DeVonta Smith, wide receiver. Somebody's going to drop in this draft, and quarterback's too valuable to drop, even if Trey Lance is needs to sit for a year. The two offensive linemen are both grade incredibly high. There's not a ton of defensive players, but there's a lot of wide receivers, a lot of them. And DeVonta Smith, it's official, is 6 feet tall and 165 pounds. That feels like, to me, this is the drop guy, that you could talk yourself out of him and say a lot of teams could go, what the hell, I can get a receiver later in the draft. There's too much risk here. You're kind of take away on his size and that thought.
Great question. Let me start by saying I believe his success will 100% be tied to the ability of the offensive coordinator and play caller to have the creative vision to utilize DeVonta Smith properly. Okay, so I don't want to knock him because, again, like he can do it. But and this is where NFL guys drive me nuts, right? Like their hubris is insane. You know it's true, by the way. And a lot of them watch you. And you guys are sitting in your office right now, and you know it's true. Your egos are out of control. And if you're sitting in your office right now and you're thinking to yourself like, well, great, he's, I'm going to take him and, I can make him just kind of a standalone outside wide receiver, then he's going to fail. And it's not his fault, it's yours. Okay, because if you use him properly, the way that he was utilized at Alabama, then he can be a game-changing threat, regardless of if he's 165 pounds or develops to 170 or 175. And the reason, Colin, is if you look at the way he was utilized at Alabama, Steve Sarkisian never let him just sit in one place static from snap to snap. He was in the slot. He was off the line of scrimmage. He was in motion. He was motioning across the ball. He was in return motion, going back to the same side. They were getting him the ball on jet sweeps, bubble screens, down the slot, in the middle of the field, across the middle of the field, in play action, in drop back, every possible scenario. That's where he was utilized, I thought, to maximize his potential. If an NFL play caller and offensive coordinator has that vision and that plan for DeVonta Smith, then you shouldn't be worried about his frame. But if you're going to sit there and have the hubris to just say he's going to be an outside wide receiver because that's what I've done my entire career, then he's going to fail, and it's not his problem, it's yours.
Very good stuff. Commendable job today. Even you were kind of impressed with my reasoning in the mock draft. It felt like you wanted to whack away at me, whack-a-mole, and you were kind of like, maybe Cowherd kind of got some of it right.
I mean, it was okay. It was okay. It was okay. I love J.C. Horn, but the safest corner is Patrick Surtain, and the best corner is actually Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. But they all love Horn because he's got the upside of Farley without the back surgery history. Caleb Farley had 2 microdiscectomy back surgeries in the, fairly recently. So, but to your point about you can find a corner later, you're going to be able to find a corner a little bit later because of the way these players are going to fall.
Yeah. All right, Klattster. Good stuff. Good talking to you, buddy.
Yeah, you as well. Have a good weekend.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.